How's it going, everyone? Welcome and thank you for stopping into the channel. Tonight I have a first impressions and an overview to do for you guys. Now, I have a literal ton of Civivis, but I do not own this one. This comes in to the channel from Issuing Stitches, Bobby over there. Thank you for sending this in, brother. It is greatly appreciated. This is a knife that I've looked at many times and just never pulled the trigger on it. This is the Civivi Odium. Now, I believe, yes, it is a Ferrum Forge design. As you can see there, there's their little logo at the top. And this knife is actually smaller than I thought it was. But with that being said, it's actually very comfortable. And you actually can get a full 3-finger grip on the handle there. And if you choke up into the finger choil, which is where most people would grip this knife, you get a full purchase on this bad boy and a ton of control. So I really like this. I'm not 100% sure what steel this is coming in. I want to say this is one of their earlier models. I want to say it might be like 8CR, but it could be, let me look. It does not say. It does not say. So, I am going to go out on a limb and say it could be D2 or it's some sort of 8CR. Nonetheless, this knife is not expensive, coming from Civivi. These were hugely popular. They still are, actually. So we'll start with the very front and work our way back. You have a bead blasted drop point blade, very Ferrum Forgey. Ferrum Forge has their design cues, and I like Ferrum Forge for the most part. They make good little user knives. You have this nice elongated hole here for the reverse and thumb flick. I think we can thumb flick it out. Yeah, we can get it. Yep. So you can thumb flick this boy out. You can reverse flick this guy out. And it has a nice little, if you get your hand out of the way, a nice little flipper tab there. Boom. Yeah, I like that. Now, one thing I'm going to bitch about a little bit is the access to that liner. They jimped it, but they didn't give you a ton of access to it. Now, with that being said, you can still get in there pretty easily. You can get in there from the side and from the front. Pretty good. Could it be better? Yeah, it could be. Bobby threw a lanyard on this guy. I like his lanyards. He does a phenomenal job. You have this black G10 here. Very well finished. Nice thick, I guess, well, the liners are proud, and it really gives this knife a cool look. I'm just now noticing that. These almost are like inlays. That is very unique, very cool. I like this little guy. Especially, I think they come in between like 40, 50 bucks, somewhere in that neighborhood. I like this little thing. It's pretty nice, and it's not expensive. This would be a good little user knife for sure. And I see why they were hugely popular. A lot of people do not like big, overbuilt knives, and this is not a big overbuilt knife. And you got some jimping up there, multiple ways of deployment, a nice clean design. I like it. Why don't we go ahead and do a couple of spec checks here? We'll go ahead and grab our Stanley Fatty. So we're gonna have 2¼ inches of cutting edge. We're gonna have 2 and let's just call it 3/4 total length, blade length. And coming down to the very, very bottom tip of that knife, you're gonna be about 6 1/8. Why don't we go ahead and get a weight on this guy really quickly. With the lanyard might be like 0.5, maybe 1 out, 0.1 maybe. So I'm gonna guess this comes in right around 2.5. So very lightweight, very easy to carry. One thing I'm interested to see is why don't we go ahead and see what this edge is looking like. Wow. 10 thousandths. Really? Really? This has like a shallow hollow grind, I feel. That's what it feels like anyway. I could be wrong. But that's what it feels like. Let's see what this little guy can do. I'm assuming Bobby's had this and used it, so we'll see. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. Wow. Guys. That thing is definitely sharp. Civivis typically come with a very good edge on them. The blade is nice. I like the blade shape. I like the opening methods. I'm not sure what the steel is. It's going to be D2, 8CR, 9CR, somewhere in that ballpark. It's going to be between 45 and 55 bucks. I like the black G10. It's finished very well. You have very minimal hardware. You have a tolled pivot on that side. You have the Civivi emblem there on the show side. Very, very minimal hardware. You got 1 screw there. And what do you got? 2 pocket clip screws back here. You have a geared G10 backspacer, I'm guessing is what that is. Or FRN. Can't tell. Let's see. Did they? Yes, they did. Steel liners with triangle milling done in them. You can kind of see it there. I like this little guy. No wonder this thing was hugely, hugely popular. But that'll do it for this one, guys. It's comfortable. The action's good. The cutting is good. The price is good. The materials are good. I mean, you can't really ask for much more. This is, you know, Civivi at their best, pretty much right here. This is when they was trying to make a name for themselves, and they was, you know, really, they weren't the kings yet, and they're definitely not now. Kaiser has taken that throne from them, but this is when they were on their way up to the top. And they did sit up top for a little while. But Kaiser has since knocked them off. And Civivi has a lot of work to do. And I hope Civivi does not follow in their big brother Wii knives and just use 20 CV and type, you know, they use the same old stuff, same old thing. And it's just, it gets old from Wii. Anytime you hear a new model, it's titanium. It's titanium with an inlay, and it's 20 CV. I mean, you already know that. We know that. Guys have been doing that for the last 2 years. So, not anything against 20 CV, but there are tons and tons of other steels. I'll name a couple in case we doesn't know about them. There's Vanex, LC200N. There is MagnaCut, which they probably can't get. There's S90V. Hell, S45VN. There is S110V, LMAX, XHP. I mean, Crewwear, M4. I don't get it. Why are you only using 20 CV? I mean, you might have bought a factory load of it, but buy some other shit. I don't get it. But that'll do it, guys. If you're still here, thank you. I love you. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right down below the video right there. Give the video a thumbie and leave me a cummy down below. Love you guys, and I'll catch you later.